right, welcome back to Computer Science Discoveries. We are looking at problem solving, lesson 7, storage. If you're in my class, you need to go ahead and write down the definition of storage. Storage is saving information to use in the future. Pause the video and go ahead and write that down. All right, I want you to think about this. Why is storage an important part of the computing process? Pause this and just think about it for a minute. If you have somebody to share with, go ahead and share it with somebody. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this video. If you're in my class, you're going to need to watch this.
I design products for kids to use so that they can have an easier time in school. My other jobs include DJing and dancing. As the pioneers of computer science explored how to design a thinking machine, they realized that it had to perform 4 different tasks. It would need to take input, store information, process it, and then output the results. Now, this might sound simple, but these 4 things are common to all computers. That's what makes a computer a computer. First, we're going to talk about input. This is my favorite because what input is the stuff that the world does or that you do that makes the computer do stuff. You can tell a computer what to do with the keyboard, you can tell them what to do with the mouse, the microphone, the camera, and now if you're wearing a computer on your wrist, it might listen to your heartbeat, or in your car, it might be listening to what the car is doing, and a touch screen can actually sense your finger and it takes that as input on what it's doing.
All these different inputs give a computer information which is then stored in memory. A computer's processor takes information from memory, it manipulates it or changes it using an algorithm, which is just a series of commands, and then it sends the processed information back to be stored in memory again. This continues until the processed information is ready to be output. How a computer outputs information depends on what the computer is designed to do. A computer display can show text, photos, videos, or interactive games, even virtual reality. The output of a computer may even include signals to control a robot. And when computers connect over the internet, the output from one computer becomes the input to another, and vice versa.
But across all computers, regardless of the different types of technology they use, they're always doing the same 4 things. They take in information, they store it as data, they process it, and then they output the results.
So when we first defined a computer, we defined it as a machine that works with information. So now we've added that a computer must be able to take inputs, use processing and storage, and give outputs. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our first app in code.org. If you have access to code.org, go ahead and open it up. You can try this app for yourself. If not, feel free to watch and we will run through it together. What is your favorite color? And it gives us 5 color choices. I'm going to go with green today. What season is it? We're going to go, let's say autumn. And what is the weather today? We're going to say it is rainy outside. Generate an outfit. So this is what it thinks we should wear. We got some jeans, we got a t-shirt, and we probably need an umbrella. And if we do summer, let's do summer, sunny, white, generate outfit. All right, now it's got us in shorts and a t-shirt with sunglasses. So it is taking our inputs, it is processing them. We have some storage. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And it turns it into an output. So let's come over here and look at our worksheet. First thing first, go ahead and put your first name, last name, class period, and date on it. So when we are deciding whether or not to store something, we need to take into consideration how often are we going to need to retrieve that information. We're going to go down here and start with weather. Take a look at the app again. Take a look outside your window. What does it look like right now? Is it raining? Is it sunny? All right. Now, if we use this same app again tomorrow in the morning, is the weather going to be the same? If you live in Wilmington, North Carolina, probably not. So, I want you to think about how often does the weather change? Sometimes, it typically changes every day. Sometimes it changes multiple times a day. So, when you come over here, if you're in my class, you are only going to put a yes or no response. No, it should not store the weather. Why? Because the weather changes all the time. All right. Now let's go back and talk about your favorite color. Actually, let's talk about seasons first. How long does a season last? If you said 3 months, you would be right. So approximately 90-ish days. If you were to use this app every single morning, would you, for 3 months, want to have to tell it what season it is? Probably not. So if it stores that information so that it is the same until the user goes in and changes it, then that works out great for us because we can skip that step every time we use this app. So yes, and you can write because the seasons stay the same. You could write for a long period of time. You could write for about 3 months. If you want to be more specific, and I spelled that way wrong. Okay. Your favorite color. Now, some of these answers could have both a yes or a no answer. I want you to choose only one. So think about how often does your favorite color change? I want you to do this based on you. Or you could do it based on most users. But right now, you're the one using this app. If your favorite color changes a couple times a week, once a week, maybe you don't want it to store your favorite color. If your color has been the same since you were 5, obviously you're going to want it to store that information because it's probably not going to change a lot. So go ahead and answer that one. Now let's try the friend finder. All right, so this app is a little different. It is the friend finder. Now, before we use this app, I am going to clarify. None of the answers are no because it's creepy or no because it's unsafe. We are going to assume that you have their permission to track them. You could even pretend that this is your parent tracking you. All right? So it's not about safety. It's not about any of that. It's about how this app works. All right. So let's look. First, it wants us to look at list of friends. So, right. Oh, wrong one. List of friends. We've got their list of friends. Should it save that list of friends? Or should they have to put it in each time? If you have think about your closest friends. How often does that group change? Go ahead and pause it and put in your answer. You go back. All right, next it wants friend's location. Oh, nope, back. Find the friend. So right now, Erin is near the national park. All right, and we got another friend down here. If we reset this, let's see if they're in a different position now. All right, now they've moved around. I want you to keep in mind that we now have Erin in a different location. Think about that. All right, think about that when you put in your answer. And finally, we have our friend request. Should it store or should it not store the friend request? Okay, let's go ahead and think about that and record your answer. Feel free to pause at any time. All right, choose a kid's movie. Here is our last one. Choose a kid's movie. Let's run through this once. Let's choose a movie. Let's choose the Lego movie. Let's choose action movie. Do you want an animated movie or not? Let's say yes. What should I watch? You want to watch an action movie. Based on your preferences, we think you should watch Tangled. Let's try Star Wars. Let's do comedy. And yes, we want to watch an animated movie. It thinks we should watch My Neighbor Torto. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce it. I've never seen this. All right. Based on that information, how that works, should it store your favorite movie? Yes or no? Why and why not? Why or why not? What are you in the mood for? Should it store that answer or should it not? Why or why not? Do you want an animated movie? Should it be stored? Why or why not? And the recommendations, should it store it? Should it not store it? Why or why not? And down here, it wants you to give 2 examples. It says, now that we've seen some examples of inputs that should and should not be stored, brainstorm at least 2 guidelines about what type of information should and should not be stored. Your guidelines should follow this format. So you can use this format and just fill in the blanks. If the information blank, then the information should or should not, you pick one, be stored because blank. For example, blank should or should not be stored. You can use that sentence and write it out here and just fill in the blanks. All right, that is it for storage. We are getting close to our final project for this unit. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.